Did you know that being covered in dirt is actually a good thing in life? I know you're saying, what do you mean by that? Just like how seeds need healthy, good dirt in order to grow as healthy plants, we as people also have to experience things like dirt and grime and disgust in life in order for us to grow. I'll tell you what, sometimes life can throw dirt all over us and on top of us, and it seems like there's no way out. But those moments are actually the perfect moment for us to plant seed for our growth. So whether you're currently covered in dirt or simply looking to embrace this moment, I think this is the podcast for you. So if you're ready, join me in the Jersey to Vegas podcast, episode number 92. Let's roll up our sleeves and let's get dirty. Man, I tried to open this up with 1,000 intros, and I just want to talk about like how it can be really hard and really tough for people, right? Because they don't understand, or we don't understand that the tough times. And what I've heard about, what I've read about was that it's necessary to go through these tough times, right? It's necessary for us to go through hardships and necessary for us to go through struggle, because that's what develops us to become better. And it's hard to see in the moment, especially when you're in the trenches of it. It's hard to see in the moment. But the quote that I'm running this podcast off of is, I heard it the other day when I was going on my meditative walk, was, tell me something that is beautiful that never had dirt on it. Or tell me something that grew to be beautiful that never had dirt on it. And you got to think about it that way. Like we always say, we're a seed, right? We're a seed and we plant the seed. And then as the seed grows, we grow its roots, it becomes beautiful, and we develop, but it takes time. But not only does it need time, it also needs nourishment, right? It needs dirt. And the dirt is the most important thing. And when I think about it, more the dirt you have, the more you can wash those things off, right? And the more dirt you have, the better your seeds are going to grow. It makes sense. Like you do need to have some tough time, because those tough times make you stronger. Those tough times are the test. I feel like I've been in tough times. And when I thought about this concept, or when I thought about this quote, I think about like when I started with the gym and where I started with my career, right? My career was not developed easy. I thought, you forget those things, right? And I forgot about it. And the more I sat down and meditated and I thought about it more, I was like, it took a long time for me to develop what we called crank, right? I was covered in lots of dirt. And the dirt wasn't just like, people talking shit or whatever. It was the choices that I have made, right? I chose to follow the path of what would please my parents. And that's get a corporate job, get some money, get insurance. Not saying that was wrong, right? But I put myself into the wrong soil. I put my seeds into the wrong soil because I didn't believe in it. Growing thing, right? You always see a plant. There's a plant right there. And I had to take that plant from my room and bring it over here because it's part of me. But at the same time, like, you need good soil. And when I was at Marriott or my restaurant, my parents, my seeds weren't loved there, right? I didn't put any love into those seeds. It wasn't until I stepped into personal training and decided to go full time into personal training. Because also at that time I was coaching, right? I was coaching wrestling. That's where all my seeds were, right? That's what I loved. But I never made a living off it because it was volunteer. I did it for free. I coached for 15 years. I got paid for 2. Like I coached for a long time for nothing. And that's my choice, right? Of course, if I had the position available and I was qualified to do so, then I would have taken it. But at the same time, like, I had to make a career. I had to have insurance, and just substituting and coaching wasn't going to provide me with those things. But my seeds were there and I was flourishing there, right? There was great. But then I had to put a lot of my other seeds into the other jobs, into the other places, and nothing really came out of that. And it wasn't until I left those jobs and decided to put all my seeds into coaching, and I chose personal training. I had this opportunity to be at this brand new gym in downtown Jersey City, where I was matched up with this team of great coaches, great mentors, and I got lucky. And I threw all my seeds into this dirt there. Now, I didn't know what I was going to get out of it. I don't know if I was going to make money. I didn't know if I was going to be successful, but for something in my heart knew that I loved doing this stuff. So I threw all my seeds in. I threw everything in there. And if you guys don't understand personal training, you don't make money until you get clients. I was not a salesman. I could not charge for training. I coached wrestling for free, right? I've helped people develop their strength for free. I help people lose weight in bodybuilding competitions for free. It was very hard for me to do this job and then try to charge. I wasn't good at it. So the first couple months, I would just make how much money I would make standing at the desk. But I would walk around and talk to people, and I would give people advice and work out with them and stand next to them and go out to lunch with them or go to the bar with them. There I was planting my seed in different areas. I wasn't getting anything out of it, but I was just planting them. Put them into a dirt that I believed, right? The nutrients there, the fertilizer, whatever you want to call it, was everywhere. I was throwing a couple there, a couple with the Ollie guys, a couple with the group guys, a couple with the crazy guys. And then I stepped into a class that a friend of mine and mentor was teaching. And I asked him if I can help him just be an assistant. No pay, nothing. I just wanted to be around this. I wanted to take this on because what I was doing wasn't working. Me trying to get more clients just wasn't getting. I started getting a couple. I was getting a couple, build some relationships, and I was getting known. I was good. People were starting to get more sessions with me. People were deciding to train with me a little bit more, but nothing really super long term. I do have great connections for my first couple, and they've hung out with me for a long time. And I started assisting in this class, and the guy's name was Rob from Moscow. If you know him, say hi to him. He's a great dude, and he's just one of those experienced trainers. He came from Hoboken, and he took his class from Hoboken and brought it over to downtown Jersey City, where he was one of our lead trainers. From there, I started understanding how to teach a little bit differently. I started understanding that this was my style of coaching. This became my style of teaching. Every time I do group, and it was a group X class. So, we go to the gym and these classes you sign up for, and it's booty boot camp or cardio rush or like hip hop or one of those classes. Well, this is one. I forgot what his I don't remember what it was called, but his energy, the way he delivered it, everything he did matched a lot of my personality. It matched a lot of what I like doing, and it matched a lot of what I like to learn. And he was mentored by a guy named Juan Carlos Santana, who's like a great personal training coach and one of the lead experts in personal training, especially then. IHP Fit, I forget what it's called, down in Florida. And he worked for him for a while. He was an intern / worked for him down in Florida before he came back up here to New Jersey, New York. Hey guys, I just want to take a quick moment for you guys to like and subscribe to the channel, help grow everything. And if you guys believe in what it is I'm talking about, definitely DM me, message me, email me, whatever it is. Reach out and tell me your stories because I'd love to share them on the podcast. And if you are interested in becoming a guest on the podcast, please do me a favor. Contact me. You can contact me at peteisip@gmail.com, and I'll talk to you guys later. All right, back to the podcast. So I did these classes for free, and I'm just loading seeds everywhere, just doing what I can, staying quiet, helping out, setting up, motivating people, talking to people, exactly what I was doing out there. And then I started getting more comfortable with who I am, right? I didn't have to follow this cookie cutter type program where I understood I could be myself more. And as the time went along, my clientele kind of stayed the same, not making tons of money, but making a little money now. If you guys were if you had a job in high school, it might be the same amount of money at that point, because like I said, it's pretty difficult to be a personal trainer and making the careers out of it, especially when you're terrible at sales. And an opportunity came where Rob decided to leave, and he left, and they told me to take over the class. And right there in that moment, I was not nervous. I did not have any fear. I went into that class knowing what I needed to do, and then I created it into something more of my style. I kept the same class with the methodology and everything that he taught me. And, you don't want to change everything because the people love that class. Then I took it over and it became huge. We needed to sign up the list. There would be wait lists. It would sell out all the time. The classes would bomb all the time. They wouldn't bomb. That's not a good way. They would be full all the time. People would walk by the class wondering what's going on there because it was complete chaos. And then after that, we developed another type of program where it was semi-private training. So it wasn't really big group classes. It was more of a vision where I put now my strength stuff, right? Tires, deadlifting, medicine ball, sandbags, real pull-ups, kipping pull-ups. Most people did kipping anyway. Right? And we did it in this back room. We tried it. It was called Project H. Met a lot of great guys from there. Sim is one of them. Sim's always commenting and always the pit bull, man. He's always on the podcast, always talking, or to me, not talking to you guys. But that's where this whole thing kind of developed. And me as a person found another bunch of seeds to throw into. Right? I had seeds in the class, I had seeds in personal training, and now in this group X or this group training, semi-private training, group training, semi-private model we call Project H kind of got me fancying because one-on-one training is great. Right? But my attention span is not very good at one-on-one. I was good at one-on-one. I would lose my focus faster. I needed more. And that's why I love the big group X class, because there was so much going on, but I only got paid per class. Now we developed this model to where it's a little cheaper than personal training, but a little more expensive obviously more expensive than a group X class. Maybe get like 8 people per hour inside there doing their own modified versions of whatever the workout is. And it felt great. I'll tell you what, man, it felt great. It was something that I've always wanted to do, something I want to launch. And the team around us were amazing. So we all met, and finally the owner at the time, no, still the owner, right? It's called Base now, and he allowed us to move along with this model. And what they were going to do is take all these all-star trainers and coach, and like 1 week it'll be us, and then New York, Sim would come from New York with oh my God, why am I blanking on Muay Thai man? Duke. She had Sim and he had Duke from New York. Who was Hoboken was Jason and Gwen and Jason. I think it was 2 Jasons there, and then ours. And then where else was there? I was Hoboken there, and then there was another one somewhere else in the world, I think, but it didn't matter because they allowed us to at least try this thing. And the first camp was good. The second one was okay. Then after that, it kind of winded down. Right, it winded down. But the seeds were planted. I knew I liked it. I knew I liked those seeds. I knew I liked that soil, not the seed. And then it came time to where, things happen and we start outgrowing places. Things are starting to get taken away a little bit, like little benefits that we had. And you saw it changing. So before it started to change in the whole, I took the jump and decided to open up what we will call a crank. But if it wasn't for me loading these seeds into all this dirt and getting dirty, right? I'm getting dirty. Who is this guy in a new class? Who does he think he is? Right? I'm not making any money. What am I going to do where there's more dirt? You don't have insurance. You're not going to make it. How are you going to? You can't even pay for more dirt. I'm getting buried. But I was patient. I enjoyed it, which means I showed a lot of love into this process. And I started to branch out, right? I started to grow some leaves. I started to grow a stem. And then once I grew that stem, I started to blossom a little bit. I started feeling this awakening of something that I'm feeling lively about. And again, in the beginning of the crank days, when you first have it, all you have is debt, right? You have debt. So I try to minimize as much debt as I can, but at the same time, you still have insurance and you have rent, and then you have the insurance for the rent, and you need backup of the rent, and then you have equipment. And now, who's going to pay for this shit? Who's going to pay for this thing run out of a fucking 1,000 square foot office? How are we going to make this happen? And it started to happen, right? But I still had a different dirt. Right? More dirt covered me, but I loved it. And it didn't matter if I made it or not. It didn't matter. I just kept going. And I kept doing the thing that I loved, figuring it out, fucking pounding away. I almost said grinded away. Tired of that word. Just pounded away. And it developed into this great, beautiful, blossoming flower that a lot of people appreciated to look at. And a lot of people appreciated to be a part of. The reason I'm telling this story is not because I want you to know more about me. It's just that I wanted you to know and see all the crap you have to go through in order to see something blossom. Right? And you could have the best seeds in the world. Your seeds can be the greatest seeds. And you have all these ideas and all these ideas that that like in your heart, they're your seeds. Not the seeds people give you. People give you different seeds. You have to go to college, Pete. You have to get a degree, and then you have to go to school and use those seeds for your life. Well, I threw them there. And it was like throwing them on fucking glass. Seeds don't grow on glass. I just threw them in the wrong place. And they were just hanging out there. And that's what I was doing. I was just going through motions, hanging out there. Nothing was blossoming. Nothing was flourishing. They were just there. Then fucking it rained and it rained and it rained, and now fucking moved my seeds over into a different type of dirt. But it wasn't dirt that I was appreciating. It wasn't dirt that I wanted to be a part of. And it's going to be the same thing for you. It's going to be tough. But I know you can do it because you have to want to. Right? And that's in anything that we do. Anything that we do. In order to achieve something or get something, you need to fucking want it. You need to want it with a flame. You need to want it with fucking anything. Something that burns you in the chest that says, I really, really believe this is going to be a part of my life. Some of us have never felt it because we've never looked for it. We've never looked for that thing because we're so used to planting other people's seeds. We're so used to doing whatever it is everyone tells us. And like I said, I was a people pleaser, right? I'm a people pleaser. People that know me, they know me that I get very sad fast. Right? If you know me, I get very sad fast. I get very angry fast. I get very quiet fast. But people that really don't know me think I'm just happy. Because I'm very good at showing you a face that you want to see. I'm very good at showing you a face and attitude that you think I am. I'm not going to say that I'm not, but rarely did I show the struggle part. And it's only the people that really knew me that will get it and understand it. The soil and the dirt that you get thrown on in life is very important. The soil that you choose to be buried under is very important, because that soil is either going to help you grow or it's going to help you die. And right now I'm doing my best, my fucking best, to stay in dirt that's going to help me grow, because the past couple years I put myself into a lot of dirt that was going to kill me. And that's my own choosing. I'm not blaming anyone. They put me there. This was me. No, I put my seeds into a different dirt. I replanted my roots somewhere else, and it wasn't growing there. So right now, I'm presently putting my seeds in places that I know will help me grow again. And I'm fucking growing. And I know you're going to grow too. You just got to remember, use the things that you really love. Really find the things that you love, the things that you don't need money for, and hang on to them. And if it's not your full-time job, then just keep it as a part-time thing. Keep it as a hobby. Keep it in your life, because those seeds mean a lot. At some point, maybe you'll choose to make it a career or an adventure. And when you do, you know what soil to put it into. But just keep them alive. Keep them watered a little bit. Because if you stop, and once those seeds are done, it's very hard to reignite them again. It's crazy to think where I was 2 years ago. It's crazy to think where, because I watched the podcasts of 1, 2, 3, 4. I just kind of watched it so I could find some clips for YouTube Shorts. And as I listened to it, you can feel the anger. You can feel it. It was a very angry podcast. And I was like, man, I can't even find a point where I wasn't cursing at all. I couldn't find a point where I was like trying to be helpful. Those first couple ones when I was still in New Jersey when I started the podcast, which will be coming up soon, it was just anger, like straight angry at people, angry at things, angry at life. But even in that anger, I planted the seed, right? I planted these seeds, and I'm letting them go, and I'm letting them grow. So if there's any takeaway from this, guys, if there's any takeaway from this, just remember it's going to get fucking dirty, right? It's going to suck. You're going to feel disgusting. You're going to feel buried at times. You're going to feel suffocated at times. But there's a reason you're there in that dirt. There's a reason you put yourself there in order to fight your way out of it, or grow your way out of it. Not even fight, right? You want to grow your way out of it. And you will. I promise you, you will. Don't look at bad things and tough times and people talking shit or things happening wrong to you. Don't look at that as bad. Embrace that dirt. Embrace it. I'm very, very thankful for everything that has happened. I'm thankful for everything that's happened. And I know it's hard for you guys to think that or say that, but it is. I'm very thankful for it. I'm very thankful for you guys, because you guys give me a reason. You guys give me the flame, right? Me speaking in front of this camera and talking through that, this gives me the flame. This helps me. I'm not getting anything out of it, right? Nothing, but I'm keeping it alive. I'm keeping the seed alive. Right now is dirt, but I know it's the right dirt. And there's times I want to fucking stop. There's times I want to stop watering my soil. There's times I want to just stop feeding the soil. No more nutrients, nothing. Just let it fucking get buried and die. But I'm not gonna, because I'm grateful for all the things that I've gone through. And now it's gonna help other people get through what they're going through. And I know, because I believe in it. And that's all that matters. And that's all that counts. All right, guys. Thank you for coming out to the podcast. This was a nice one. It was more of a storytelling of how the dirt and the seeds, of course I said that 1,000 times in the podcast, but I really want to show how getting things in life is not easy, right? You really have to work for a lot of the things that you have. There are a lot of things that you want, especially. And trying to match the things that you want with your actual lifestyle is very difficult. So try to keep the things that you love, that you're passionate about, that you really enjoy inside your life, even just a little thing, right? If you like to draw and you're artistic, maybe just drawing a little bit will always help. So I hope you guys enjoyed that podcast. Please do me a favor, like, subscribe, review, and I will see you guys in the next one for episode number 93 of the Jersey to Vegas podcast. Pete, I'll talk to you guys later.